Zach with the Casual Conversation with Zack Scicluna myself. I hope you're doing well, and I wanted to talk to you about a topic today of in regards to what is an inspection period. So what is an inspection period? So you'll have this in a real estate transaction, and there'll be two sides of it. There's going to be a buyer side and a seller side of the experience. So when you're looking at it from a buyer side, the way that it's going to work is on the buying side, you are focusing on, hey, is this house as good of a deal as it looks like? Or are there any nuances that I need to be aware of about the house before I pull the final trigger and get all the final financing and purchase the home? On the sell side, when you're the seller and you have somebody going through the inspection period, that's basically just making sure the quality of the home, it stands up to what you were asking for the home, purchase price wise, and that those buyers are happy with the condition of the home, and or if they might want to renegotiate for whatever discovery, whether they just didn't know about certain dynamics of the house or the neighborhood, things like that. So those are the inspection period two sides of it. But there are some common variables. So during an inspection period, traditionally speaking, of course every area is different, things like that. During an inspection period, things you're going to want to cover is the home condition, first off, then the neighborhood or area nuances, if there are any, and then getting insurance for the home. Those will be the biggest three things you're going to focus on. So during the condition of the home, we're going to be focusing on a home inspection. Those will vary in price from who you're going to have getting it done. There's definitely a couple that I do recommend. So if you have a need for a home inspector, I've got a couple of my Rolodex that are really awesome. The really good inspectors do get booked out really far in advance, and so, you know, that being said, you can get lucky and get some openings, but it tends to take a week or so to get someone out onto a property to do the home inspection. Cool thing about the home inspection, they go through the whole house with a fine-tooth comb. They check light switches, they check outlets, they crawl in attics, they go in basements, they check the flow on sinks and all water spigots and things like that. So the home inspectors, they'll take 2 to 3 hours to go through a home depending on the size of the house, and they'll photo document everything for you and put it in this big, some of them are almost up to 100 pages depending on the size of the home and the features of the home. But traditionally speaking, somewhere between 40 and 70 pages long, a file that you'll get. Next thing is going to be a pest inspection. Cool thing about the pest inspection, they're going to be looking for dry rot, they're going to be looking for termites, they're going to look for any kind of rodent infestations of any kind. They're going to just be looking for those dynamics, as well as like water leaks. So sometimes people don't realize, but a pest inspector actually does look for water seeping out underneath sinks, underneath the homes, things like that. Again, those attract pests and other things like that, so those are kind of linked into their field, but a lot of people don't realize that. So that would be the pest side, and the home inspection side. Again, roof inspection, that's huge. I've got contacts for them if you need a roof inspector. They're worth their weight in gold because, again, standing down below, 15 feet below a roof or more sometimes, when you look up at it, the roof can look like it's in great shape, but as soon as you were to climb up there, you'd be dumbfounded what you might find. So a roof inspector is worth their weight in gold. Again, there's a lot of dynamics. The average roof, though, tends to have a life expectancy of about 30 years. That's, again, there's a lot more, there's a lot less. It just all depends. And those roof inspectors will come out, they'll give you approximate age on the roof if the seller doesn't know. And or some of them will actually certify that it'll be leak proof for a given amount of time period with the purchase of a certificate. So it's an extra little warranty coverage plan, which is kind of nice. If you're purchasing a home that you're not sure about, or depending on the age of the home, sometimes it's worth it, it's just a precaution. Next dynamic you're going to be looking at, and this is unique to each home, but like on more rural properties, you'll get a well inspection done. So that's going to be for your a well test done, and actually a mineral test done on the well. It's going to be your water dynamics. So traditionally, if you're in the city, you have just piped in water. Nothing to really test there except that home inspector. He'll test to see what the water pressure is to make sure you are getting adequate pressure in from the street. Too much is bad, too little is bad. Something right in between is good, and the home inspector will include some info on that. But the well inspection, they're going to have a grid of, they're going to test it for 2 to 3 hours, and they're going to just turn a spigot on and they're just going to let it run. And they want to see how much water gets put out for how long, and basically towards that 2 to 3 hour marker, whatever's coming out at a max volume, that is what they put towards the productivity of the well. Again, if you got to dig a well, that's terribly expensive. So just be aware that a well inspection is huge and important. And then the other side is going to be the septic inspection. They're going to come out. Traditionally, you have a sewer or septic. If you have a sewer, you're just getting the line inspected. You're looking for tree roots growing into it and things like that. They're worth their weight in gold because, again, everything adds up. When it comes to a house, everything tends to be 10 to 15 grand these days if there's something going wrong or needing an updating of some kind. And then on the septic side, they're going to be checking productivity, making sure there's no debris in the leach lines, and that the tank's in good condition. And then beyond that, the next dynamic you're going to be looking at is making sure you're the home, you can get fire insurance or traditional insurance, or if you have flood insurance, you'll want to make sure you can get all those dynamics wrapped into it. And then as well, the community. When you're looking at the community, you're going to want to see, are there community rules, CC&Rs, HOAs, Melloroos? And if there are, you're going to have to decide if that neighborhood's a good fit for your lifestyle. And that's really what is entailed on the home inspection period, or the inspection period, where you get all the inspections done. And that's where, again, on the selling side, it can be a little leery because you're not sure what the buyers are going to do. On the buy side, it can be a little leery again because you're not sure what you're going to find. And then being able to try and potentially negotiate things out if something does come up. And again, that's where having someone like myself on your side is going to be hugely important, being able to guide you through the process, good little negotiation strategies or counter strategies if anything comes across. But again, that's our casual conversation in for today. And I want to say thank you for watching these videos. Please share them if they do strike a chord with you. Pass them along to someone else that you might find value with them as well. Do go visit our website. We have a referral weekend giveaway. And if you just put someone's information in that you know is going to benefit from this kind of info or talking with myself, then they'll be able to be entered into that weekend getaway raffle, as well as yourself for entering them in. So it's kind of a win-win for both you and them just by getting some information. So thank you again for tuning in. Like, subscribe to the video, share it, and stay well. Thank you so much.